Welcome to Trivia Mind. This is trivia all about the 1960s. Will this be a walk down memory lane, or are you a fan of that decade? How well do you remember? Ready to find out? Let's go. In the 1960s, what was the frenzied adoration phenomenon from the public over the Beatles called? It's Beatlemania. What 1968 movie features this quote? "I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that." That's 2001, A Space Odyssey. In 1962, 3 inmates escaped from which prison that was supposedly inescapable, near San Francisco? Yep, Alcatraz. In the 1960s, the great boxer Cassius Clay changed his name to what? Yes, Muhammad Ali. What was the name of the first James Bond movie, released in 1962? It's Dr. No. Bonus question. Can you recognize this 60s rock band from an early days photo? What band is this? Of course, it's the Rolling Stones. In 1969, what mission successfully landed the first man on the moon? That was Apollo 11. What popular TV show debuted in 1960 and featured a famous cartoon family? It's the Flintstones. Who was the first man to walk on the moon? Neil Armstrong. What TV show ran from 1966 to 1968, taking the popularity of the Beatles to make a fictional rock band who then became a legitimate band? Yep, the Monkees. As skirts became shorter through the 1960s, the decade eventually gave us what bold, iconic style? It's the miniskirt. Bonus question. Can you recognize this iconic 1960s band from an early days photo? Yes, it's the Beach Boys. Take a second to subscribe so you don't miss out on more trivia fun. Which 1960s musical was the first rock musical on Broadway and featured the songs Good Morning Starshine and Aquarius? That was Hair. Built in 1961, what was the name of the structure that separated East Berlin from West Berlin? Of course, the Berlin Wall. In 1965, what movie won Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Sound, and was a massive commercial success? Yep, The Sound of Music. The space race was between the United States and what other country? It's the former Soviet Union. What is the name of that famous music festival of 1969 that included performances by Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and The Who? It's Woodstock. Bonus question. Can you name this folk rock duo from an early days photo? Yes, that's Simon and Garfunkel. Who was President of the United States as the decade of the 1960s began? Yep, Dwight D. Eisenhower. What musical group released the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Of course, it's the Beatles. What iconic, futuristic space adventure TV show premiered in 1966 and spawned multiple spin-offs and movies? It's Star Trek. In the early 1900s, the term hip meant in the know, but by 1965 the word morphed and became a slang for the younger, wealthier subculture of the time. What was this new term? Yes, it's hippie. Chubby Checker is credited with starting the dance craze of the 1960s with his cover song and dance. What is this song and dance? It's The Twist. Bonus question. Can you name this folk rock vocal group by this early days picture? That's right. It's the Mamas and the Papas. Who is the lead singer of the 1960s group, The Supremes? Of course, Diana Ross. On January 15, 1967, what national sporting event was played for the first time? It was the Super Bowl. Which 1960s long-running series gave us Marshal Matt Dillon, upholding law and order in Dodge City? That was Gunsmoke. In the 1960s, what car became a cultural icon known for its sporty design, powerful engine, and handling, becoming a symbol of American automotive innovation? Yes, it's the Ford Mustang. Who famously sang Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy in 1962? Yep, it was Marilyn Monroe. Bonus question. Can you name the Southern rock band by this early days photo? That's right. It's Creedence Clearwater Revival. These boots were a symbol of 1960s fashion with their iconic white color vinyl or leather, low heel, and worn by dancers. What were they called? Yep, go-go boots. Debuting in 1963 to the present, what is the longest-running U.S. soap opera? It's General Hospital. What 1960s TV series had main character Steve McGarrett and his famous catchphrase, "Book 'em Dano"? That's Hawaii Five-0. The Beatles famously performed on what 1964 TV show, which would propel them to international fame? Of course, it's The Ed Sullivan Show. Where did the assassination of President John F. Kennedy take place? That's Dallas, Texas. Bonus question. Can you name this iconic band from this early days picture? Yes, it's The Doors. Thanks for playing Trivia Mind. Trivia Mind puts out a new video every week, so click that subscribe button so you don't miss out. If you liked this video, click on one of these for more trivia fun.